Hey YouTube, what's good? It's A-Pizzle9 here back again with another. Wait a minute. I'm not on my channel, I'm on Austin's channel.
What are you doing
Fucking
on
idiot.
his channel?
I don't know.
What are you doing on here,
I
Intruder?
hijacked it.
You son of a bitch!
I'm here to give you my top 10 best because Joe, Lucas, and Shane did theirs. It's my turn, and I am going to start with 5 movies that just missed the cut. If I were to make a top 20, these would be 20 through 16. Star Trek Into Darkness, This Is the End, Zero Dark 30, Monsters University, and Metallica Through the Never. Here are my honorable mentions. The first one I saw with Joe and Mark. The last of the 3 movies we saw together, that would be American Hustle. This movie, I thought this was a very good movie. I mean, it was a very good representation of crime in the 70s. The other one, I know I'm gonna get a lot of crap for this one. My other honorable mention, Saving Mr. Banks. Disney and Mary Poppins. You never thought it was going to be come together. It was very tenseful. P.L. Travers and Walt Disney and the Disney and Company go head to head. You never thought this movie was going to be made, but in the end, it was made. Third honorable mention is The To-Do List. It's like American Pie for girls. The scene where she's coming up with all the lists of things to do, it's freaking hilarious. I literally was almost crying in the theater. I was laughing so hard. And the fourth one is Anchorman 2, the sequel to one of the greatest comedies of all time. Well, not of all time, of the last decade, I want to say. And the last one that I really wanted to put it in my top 10, but the movie I saw at Christmas pushed it out, and that is Frozen, the best animated movie of the year by far. Now, let's get into the top 10, shall we?
Number 10.
Number 10 for me is the funniest movie of the year in my opinion. That would be The World's End. Without question. I mean, you got 5 guys in Europe going to the pub crawl, that's right. They got to complete the pub crawl and they've never gotten to the end. They never got to the World's End. Nick Frost and Simon Pegg do amazing job. They have amazing chemistry. I really hope that this is not the end of that trilogy, the Blood and Chocolate.
Blood and ice cream.
Blood and
chocolate?
It was a very enjoyable movie. Definitely don't want that trilogy to end because I think that they deserve more. That's why it is my number 10. I want to tap water.
Number 9.
Number 9 for me is very dark. I will say. It is very dark. It is one of the darkest movies I've seen in a while, and that would be Prisoners. This movie is one of the darkest movies of the year. You got so into it. You mean, this guy who supposedly kidnapped the daughter of Hugh Jackman, but it wasn't. You were sucked in. Very good cinematography, very good editing. That's what got you into it, was the editing. Great acting overall, great score, great everything. That's 5 out of 5. That's why it's my number 9.
Number 8.
Number 8 for me is a movie I saw with Joe last week, I want to say. It's a folk rock movie. You know what it is. It's Inside Llewyn Davis. Please, Mr. Kennedy, the outer space. Oscar Isaac definitely deserves to be nominated for something for that movie. Just the whole cinematography and everything about it. Just how it took you back to the 1960s, the cars, the clothes, the everything. And I really like the cat in there. Overall, it was a beautiful movie altogether. That's why it's my number 8.
Number 7.
Number 7 for me is a kind of strange because there's barely any dialogue in this movie.
Oh.
And it only contains one actor where he's lost at sea. If you haven't noticed it yet, it's All Is Lost. With Robert Redford, All Is Lost. He's at sea for, I want to say, 4 to 5 days. Maybe it's a week long, I don't know. He's stuck at sea by himself in the Indian Ocean. Barely any food, barely any water. A piece of cargo from a cargo ship hits his boat, and he has to survive on the Indian Ocean, on his boat. It is definitely one of the best movies of the year. Definitely one of Robert Redford's best of the past 20 years. I will say that.
Number 6.
Number 6, definitely gotta agree with Lucas on this one. My number 6 is the only sports movie on my list. My number 6 is also 42. If it weren't for Jackie Robinson, baseball would never be the same.
That is true.
And this movie was definitely a great biography of Jackie Robinson and his claim to fame of being one of the absolute best baseball players of all time. Harrison Ford as Branch was one of the best parts of the movie. He definitely deserves to be nominated for an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor, I think. One of the best biographies of the year, if I do say so myself. That's why that's my number 6.
Number 5.
Okay, now we're getting to the best of the best, the cream of the crop, starting with number 5. Number 5 is a movie I saw Christmas night, and that is The Wolf of Wall Street. Leonardo DiCaprio this is his best performance. I'm gonna say it's the best performance of his entire career. I will say that. Last year for Django Unchained, which he got robbed at the Oscars. Jonah Hill, I will say this is also one of his best performances. When he's a serious actor, this and Moneyball, I don't know which is better, but they're still equally, I will say, equally good. How he got his money, how he has to deal with drugs and alcohol and FBI pretty much. 3 hours long. It was definitely needed to be 3 hours long because it definitely caught your attention. Pretty much everything about this movie sucked you in. Wolf of Wall Street overall was a phenomenal movie. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it.
Number 4.
I believe it was one of the schmoes, I forget who said it, but this is the reconnaissance, if you will. He was also in my number 4, and that is one of the best movies of the year by far, Dallas Buyers Club. Ron Woodruff has AIDS, and Matthew McConaughey definitely looks like he has AIDS because he looked very skinny. Jared Leto definitely deserves that Oscar for Best Supporting Actor. McConaughey deserves to be nominated for Best Actor in this movie. He's definitely going to be buying for your dinner tonight. This movie was phenomenal from beginning to end. That's what a movie should be. That's why it's my number 4. Number 3 is pretty much going to be everybody's number 3, number 2, or number 1 possibly. Number 3 is by far one of the most powerful movies I have ever seen in my entire life. That would be 12 Years a Slave. This movie, oh my gosh, I cried twice during this movie. It was just powerful. How America used to be. We were just so wrong. Just racism was so rampant back in the day. It definitely didn't need to be. The scene where he was whipping it. Oh, 12 years. What would you do if you were out without your family for 12 years?
Fuck.
Imagine that, guys. That's why it's my number 3.
Number 2.
Number 2 is pretty much everybody's number 2. It's a John Mayer song. John Mayer song of the same name. It's with Sandra Bullock. It's in outer space. Gravity wants to bring me down.
Yes.
Boo. What are you booing for?
The John Mayer thing.
It's John Mayer. It's in outer space.
Outer
Space! It's in outer space. Sandra Bullock, George Clooney in space. Definitely the best movie to see in D-Box. But unfortunately, it's not D-Box anymore because it's out of... Is it out of theaters already?
Yeah, I think it is now.
It's already out of theaters, but one of the best D-Box movies I've ever seen in my life. Well, it's the only
The
one.
only one, yeah.
Yeah, it's the only
What are you
one.
saying?
Visually, it was great. The score was phenomenal. Gravity is an absolutely phenomenal movie to look at. It's convincing. You need to be convincing to be good in any movie, and that's what they did here. That's why it's my number 2.
It's number 1.
A lot of things have to be considered to be number 1 for me. Gotta have good characters. Gotta have good cinematography. Gotta have a good script. Gotta have good direction. Gotta have good scenery. Gotta have good everything. Gotta have a good score. Good everything. And that's exactly what my number 1 has. My number 1 favorite film of 2013 is Mud. Pretty much what I said. It had Matthew McConaughey in one of the best roles of his career, other than Dallas Buyers Club, other than Wolf of Wall Street, other than Magic Mike. Just the different stories that interconnected together. You got the kids who meet Mud and who have to help him build the boat to have him go meet his girlfriend, who's kind of a slut. And then the kids, one of the little kids gets a girlfriend, and then she dumps him, supposedly. And then Mud's wanted for murder. This was just phenomenal, back and forth. You connected with the characters. It was just beautiful to look at. It is, without question, my favorite film of the year, and hopefully it's yours too. I agree with Mark Ellis on this one. So that is why Mud is my favorite film of 2013. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed my list. Comment down below and let me know what your favorite films of 2013 will. Next time I see you or you see me, I'm A-Pizzle90, Alex Putnam, and you are not.
Seriously, do it. Do it. Do it.